secret in the energy industry. Does anyone know what it is? Our most closely guarded secret is, what is smart grid? Now, some of you may be laughing, but I bet it's because you recognize that smart grid means different things to different people. It may mean one thing to the public utility commissions who are looking for ways to lower rates for their constituents, and it means something else to your customers who are looking for ways to lower their monthly bills. And there are probably even a few different interpretations of the smart grid floating around your office. Well, for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to take you through ABB's vision of the smart grid, and I'll highlight some of the technologies we're providing to enable the revolution in wise energy use. So let's begin by taking a look at some of the investments in smart grid solutions that ABB's made since last year. In May of last year, ABB acquired Ventex to create a single supplier of enterprise-wide applications for information technology and power automation systems. Since then, our engineers have been working on solutions that will drive new ways to optimize the grid. We enhanced our asset management offerings with IKS. We invested in Trilliant to provide additional infrastructure solutions, and we also invested in Ecotality to provide solutions for North America's electric vehicle charging market. And earlier this year, ABB acquired Obvient, adding business solutions for transmission and distribution grid management. Now, of course, while I'll be focusing our presentation today on the needs of power distributors, ABB continues to develop technologies in all areas of grid optimization, from production to consumption. We're finding that utilities are using smart grid technologies to solve these 5 clear challenges, starting with capacity, as in, does our grid have enough capacity to meet the increasing power demands for our customers? And also, can we meet these demands reliably while minimizing outages? Can we maximize efficiency to lower energy losses during distribution? And sustainability. Can we deliver power with minimal environmental impact that enables compliance with current and future regulations? And finally, can we enable our customers to become partners in wise energy usage? Improvements in these 5 areas will help the grid by making it work smarter, not harder. So now let's take a look at each of these areas and how we're working to develop grid technologies that address these 5 challenges. We all know that the demand for electrical power is rising faster than all other forms of energy. According to an International Energy Agency forecast, the worldwide demand for electrical energy is growing twice as fast as the demand for primary energy. From a distribution perspective, part of the current capacity challenge that's faced by grid operators stems from the fact that the traditional grid is often blind. With this limited feedback, it's almost impossible to detect potential problems and correct them before they disrupt the system. Network Manager ABB's distribution management system combines distribution and outage management with smart sensors, such as ABB's Grid Sync, to provide real-time, actionable information for grid operators. These advanced applications allow operators to analyze system conditions more quickly and make better operational decisions. One example is the Network Manager Fault Location application. It allows the operator to quickly identify the location of the fault. Network Manager Distribution Power Flow allows the operators to perform multiple simulated what-if analysis and uses that info to determine the potential impact of switching plans to reduce the duration of the interruption. This allows the utility to lower KD and SAIDI values, and both of these can put the utility in better standing with the Public Utility Commission and in a better position to earn incentives like performance-based rates. Now let's address reliability. Of course, making the grid work harder is only one side of the equation. The last thing that we want to do is make the grid work so hard that we increase the number of costly blackouts and brownouts, right? The cost, even with just the current demand on the grid, are already substantial. Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory estimated that the annual cost of system disturbances in the U.S. alone approached $80 billion. To increase reliability, our solutions become the eyes of the grid, alerting grid operators to potential problems and giving them the tools that they need to diagnose and solve those problems quickly. Ventex provides you with a centralized, self-healing application that utilizes fault data to locate and isolate the fault on the network, and then it restores as many customers as possible. We also offer a decentralized fault detection, isolation, and restoration solution. It operates at a local level to help grid operators pinpoint the fault location. It also helps them get crews to the site and to potentially cut hours from outage duration times. The aging of assets is a major problem in our industry. On the transmission side of the business, there's been a long history of closely managing the life cycles of crucial assets like high voltage transformers, but this hasn't always been the case on the distribution side, where the volume of assets are significantly greater and are highly distributed across the grid. Ventex provides comprehensive solutions for asset lifecycle management and mobile workforce management solutions to improve the efficiency of assigning crews to asset maintenance. One of our customers saw supply chain inventories decrease by more than 50% with improved asset monitoring. So now let's discuss efficiency. Producing, transmitting, and distributing energy is an inefficient business by nature. Did you know that up to 80% of energy is lost in the process? Now, not all of that is lost in transmission and distribution, but our research has shown that we can recoup 6 to 10% of energy losses with improvements in just those areas. One component that helps lower losses on distribution feeders is the two-way communication that allows the grid operators to see what's going on the grid in real time so that they can proactively respond. Grid operators are using ABB GridSync sensors for applications like VoltVar optimization, which sends information on the balance of reactive and active power on the grid. VoltVar optimization allows utilities to recoup energy losses by as much as 4 to 5% on distribution feeders. A related application, conservation voltage reduction, helps utilities ensure consistent power is delivered to all consumers on the grid. Keeping power levels within the optimal range can save as much as 3 to 5% in generation cost. New electrical capacity is becoming available from a larger variety of non-traditional renewable sources. This presents a number of challenges to the utilities because renewable sources aren't always available, and even when they are, prices can fluctuate significantly. Dynamic pricing is one element that makes up a larger demand response initiative. Instead of using static tiered rates to promote off-peak energy usage, dynamic pricing gives the utility the tools that they need to charge according to the actual real-time cost of energy production and consumption. Sustainability. Ask your average customer what the key to the future of energy is, and you're likely to get an answer that involves some sort of renewable energy solution. But two more challenges are inherent in renewable energy, including that it's variable by nature. For renewables to become an even greater portion of our energy production, we'll need to find solutions to address this challenge. And then the next challenge isn't so much a challenge as it is perhaps an opportunity. For instance, a consumer isn't going to have a coal-fired power plant on the roof of her building, but she might have an array of solar panels generating more power than is necessary for her own consumption. To increase the power available, we're developing solutions that would allow consumers to become both consumers and producers of energy, helping utilities to meet their peak demands. ABB offers a variety of battery storage systems that can support renewable generation and help offset these peak demands. Distributed energy resources incorporated into the smart grid are also called edge-of-grid technologies. Just one example is this solar tree. It generates over 6,000 kilowatt hours of electricity a year, and it helps power the community. Grid operators need to be able to integrate these distributed energy resources into the grid and then manage them effectively. The Ventex virtual power plant allows the operator to see and model these resources as dispatchable sources of energy. Consumer involvement is crucial to the future of the smart grid. On one hand, consumers are demanding involvement, but often it's for different reasons. Some want to reduce the environmental impact of their power consumption, while others are simply looking for ways to lower their monthly bills. Demand response management systems from ABB gives these customers who want an active role the tools that they need to make decisions about their consumption. For example, if they're concerned about costs, then they might choose to cycle air conditioning during peak times or to shut off appliances altogether when rates go above a certain price. Or if they want to support energy production from renewable sources, then they can delay energy consumption when power from that source isn't available. So now we've talked about a number of solutions from ABB that address the 5 concerns of today's power distributors: capacity, reliability, efficiency, sustainability, and customer enablement. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention.